Welcome back, everyone. Good morning. It is Sunday at 8:44 a.m. I'm a little late, but we are looking at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame. As you can see, I have a lot going on in my charts right now, but the point I wanted to point out was that the 200 on the weekly has got tapped. We wicked it, wicking right back above. It is not a bad sign, but the issue is it was on very high volume. I'm looking for when to say, hey, the bleeding is stopped kind of situation. And as of right now, we don't know if this is the last week to grind this low or if next week we will grind back. And that is what I'm waiting to see. I am hoping for this weekend that we close above 31,800, which is on a 8 p.m. today, and any close under 31,800, I'm assuming next week we will retest these lows and maybe even make a new low and then go from there. As you can see, if you've been following along my videos, I am showing you this on a weekly time frame. The 21 and 55 have crossed to the bear side. So now we are basically just beginning and just confirming the downward move on a weekly time frame. If you've seen my other videos, I show you this on 4-hour and daily, and then we follow up and you can see what happens after this cross occurs. Now what we are doing is hopefully this 21 does not cross this 100 and it can basically touch it and bounce off, or just completely avoid it completely, and the 21 can retake the 55 EMA. Now for that to even happen, we have to get above 42,000, obviously, on a weekly open and close, so that's a while away. But that is not impossible. We can totally do that in a few weeks if we just be patient. But the point of the matter is that is a large level of resistance for us to the top side, about $40,000 and $800. That should be our first take profit if we're already in this position on a weekly off of the 200. As of right now, I will be very patient to see how 8 p.m. Comes and how we see this weekly close. Next whole week, I will be looking at the weekly candle regardless of how we close anyway, and looking for the retest of the lows. Maybe I will be considering a long in the range of either the fib, which is the $28,500 level that we have been fighting all week, as well as the 200, which is around 27,200. This should be moving up or go sideways depending on how the price closes, this purple 200. But we will find out later today. I'm going to zoom in on the price action. I just wanted to show you the weekly that, yes, we are consolidating in this fib channel. Yes, we are under the Bollinger Band, and the goal is to close above 31,600, 31,800, about there. Yeah, 31,800. We need to close inside that Bollinger Band on 8 p.m. today. Otherwise, I'm expecting quick moves to the downside. And this wick will get filled, is what I'm assuming, and get tested next whole week. So all the dip buyers, beware. This is not the week that I think the reversal will be in, but it is giving you the signs that, hey, this wick is very quick buy up, but next week we want that buy up to continue with good volume to the buys. All right, let's go to the daily and zoom in. Looking at the daily, you can see I have drawn this little cyan channel for the retracement. I am trying to see if the retracement on this little inverse head and shoulder formation gets a breakout to the 21 EMA, which is also the top of the channel now. And that is around 33,800. So the second we close above our weekly resistance, which is at 31,800, this green line, if we break above it, I'm expecting this measured move to play out, and I'm expecting the 21 to get tested, also the orange channel descending the middle, and we would be breaking out of this ascending cyan channel as well. So we have 3 points of confluence right here: the 21, the middle of this orange channel that we've been tracking for I don't know how long, as well as the middle of the Bollinger Band price distribution. So around basically high 34, 35,000 is the middle of the channel, but I'm looking for the 21 EMA first, which is on the top of this blue channel. which is around 33,800 is what I'm looking for, because the 21 EMA is going to come down on this daily close. This is great Doji wick buy-up that you can see on the daily. We have 3 consecutive candles of green retracing up, but just look right here at the volume. So this is just showing you there's like a dead cat bounce kind of scenario. And I'm assuming that after the day closes today, I don't even know if we're going to get above my weekly level, but if we don't, I'm just expecting us to roll on over. We're going to maybe test this area one more time and then probably come into these lower levels. This retracement on this other side you're seeing with these thin lines is the retracement from the absolute low to this breakout range of the top, and then you have these other targets accordingly to know, hey, we are moving upward movements. And all the numbers I was saying about this Bollinger Band, this 21 EMA, etc., is also giving you this 34,200 point of confluence on the fib. So there's multiple things that telling us, hey, if we get above this CC, as you want to say, the golden pocket, which is 31,200, same thing as my little green doodle, we got inverse head and shoulder, we have a fib, we have EMAs, we have the channels, we have measured moves, all points of confluence saying that, hey, we don't know if the buyers are here to break up to the top side, but if this weekly candle at 8 p.m. closes anything under this 31,800, you're looking for these lower targets. Once we come down and we retrace, say we get supported at this fib, that's totally reasonable. If we get supported at this fib at 28,600, which we've been talking about this whole week, then we can look for another retrace to the upside, and then our resistances will come lower and lower every close. So we'll have new targets. But until these levels are broken, there's no need for me to do a new fib or a new chart or anything, because we're in these moves that we've already discussed and calculated out throughout the entire week without any magic. This is just simple lines, simple retail TA. I'm not using any fancy tools or indicators. Anyone can do what I am doing. And this is us on a daily. I will go to a 4-hour now and zoom in a little bit more, because I know that the morning is showing some positive, but I'm expecting this to roll over due to the fact that we are just seeing a little bit of euphoric buys as people are waking up. People are looking at this as a head and shoulder, and I'm telling you the criteria for that head and shoulder is to break above this EMA. This is the 55 EMA, which is at 31,500. Currently, we are opening and closing outside the 21 EMA. That's great. Now we have hard resistance at 30,900. If we have 4-hour open and close outside 30,900, now you know that the trending move to the upside is possible. You can get a quick and fast succession of new highs coming into this 55 EMA outside the Bollinger Band. If we have open and close outside the 55 EMA and the Bollinger Band with a 4-hour open and close, you immediately have this measured move to consider all the way to the 100, which is also the channel that we are talking about, and that is around 33,600. And after that, you have the 200, which is all the way up there at 36,300. With this median, this measured move of this head and shoulder is coming to the middle of this orange channel, such as 35,000-ish. So all of these areas is, if the upside is real, we need to break above this level with open and closes on 4 hours, 31,900. And when you have that, we can look for these targets. If you have no open and closes outside of that 31,800 or the daily closes under this level, I'm expecting this price action to just roll on over. There's no reason to think otherwise. We can get as high as here and then come right back down. We can consolidate and keep getting rejected over here, because I'm expecting a lot of people probably having shorts or activating shorts in this area in any form of weakness. I'm assuming people are going to be opening shorts. Yeah, I'll make that red. And then we can just roll on back down, and then all these people who are shorting up here, they have no reason to take off their position until we come into this area and lower, because we are going to test this entire fast move. So all the people who got excited with this wick and then bought over here are all going to get closed out, or the pressure is going to be put on them as we come into these areas, and the shorters are piling on. They're going to definitely pile on as soon as we break this channel, and then they're going to pile on once you break this level. They're going to push the price into this level, and then you have to see Is this guy with all the money who made this fast wick going to defend this price level or not? If he doesn't, and he closed out, we'll go lower, and we're going to go to those much lower targets that we've already discussed in our prior videos. But just for reference sake, after 25,400, which was this fib that I drew from this being the low, assuming this is the low, then we're looking for these lower targets. And I've given you this lower targets this whole week. This $20,000 should be around 19. I'm gonna just lower that like right about there, because I have another chart that I can post, and it's around 19.8. And this is what I'll do. I'll go to the weekly just so you understand why I'm putting that there. This consolidation right here. This little consolidation right here on a weekly level is why I want this here, and I'm locking this here. I don't think 20K, that psychological level, really matters. I'm expecting the break into 20K quick and fast and a quick bounce right back up. So if price does come into this level over here, I'm expecting an enormously quick wick here, taking that liquidity and shooting right back up. And I'm going to assume that the 200 is going to stop us, and then we're going to consolidate here, put in lower highs, and then slowly break back up. And this whole area, I don't know how many videos, but these are areas I'm looking at. This 11,057 is an extension off of this 25K. Meaning if this 25K breaks, this is a 1-to-1 extension. I think this is a 1.68. So this is why this 11,000 is here. This was not here in our prior videos, but I'm leaving that here as the measured move if this consolidation breaks to the downside under 25,400. That's why these lines are thin, and then these other fib lines are thick, because I drew this on a weekly. These thin lines are from that 4-hour consolidation, which I will zoom in now to the 4-hour. It is from the 4-hour this inverse head and shoulder consolidation, as this being the bottom and then this being the top up here. Now I'm going to start removing all these little doodles. I don't want to get this chart completely trashed in. I'll take care of this myself. Let's move to Ethereum. I just want you guys to clearly see what we did over here. And here's that fib that I was talking about on the 4-hour, which I drew the 25 as the bottom, and I drew the top of this fib right over here, which is where we are expecting to break out of. And then you have these measured moves to the top side after, which I will leave because those will become real targets if this head and shoulder does play out to the top side. Okay, let's move to the 4-hour. And like I said, on the 4-hour, we're looking for open and closes above that 31.6 for these higher moves. Otherwise, if you start seeing weakness around 31.6, 31.8, you will presume that the rollover will probably come into fruition. So that is Bitcoin. Let's move to Ethereum. And then feel free to refer back to my doodles on the video. They will be there forever. I just don't want this on our chart because I already know that, memorized all that stuff, because I understand what's going to happen as it's happening. That's for you guys to trade accordingly for your own positions, because I know there are different styles. All right, so here we are going to Ethereum on a daily, but I will actually switch to the weekly. Today is the weekly close, so it's imperative that we close in a certain manner. Here is Ethereum on a weekly. As you can see, we are fighting the bottom of the Bollinger Band. It is imperative that we close above 2,096. Any close under $2,096 at 8 p.m. today, I am looking for this wick to get tested. And all week, I was saying we're going to consolidate in this little triangle, which I have drawn out and we'll see clear in these lower time frames. You can see that Bitcoin is kind of following a similar path. It looks like Bitcoin is the weaker, so maybe Ethereum will show the retracement to the upside faster. But you can see the volume is very high to the downside. What we're looking for is this volume. Like in this scenario here, look over here, volume is very high to the downside. But then we stopped at the 21, we opened and closed above it, and now you have huge buy volume continuing. The issue was we tested into this fib and got rejected at the 29.27, and we lost that fib with volume to the downside. And then the last candle was heavy volume, but we wicked, and then that's the volume I don't know how to know what is going on without looking at volume. So I really hope you guys are looking at volume with candles, and you can in your head combine the two and assume, hey, this and that is happening accordingly. You can look at this volume, but if the Bollinger Band is broken, now you know we're looking for that next deviation to move to the next standard deviation. The Bollinger Band has a certain move, but as Alpha Crypto or Alpha Wolf Crypto Group, they are trading volatility on standard deviations. So you're looking for the next deviation. I think the leader Yasha was pointing out to me in the message that inside of these first deviations is 96% of the move. Within the second standard deviation is about 98, and then even further, the third deviation is like 99%. I'm actually learning this volatility right now from him. I will leave a group invite for their discords on the bottom if you're interested in learn. They are very adamant to teach people this technique. Feel free to join their Discord group. It's completely different than my style, but if you can combine those two methods, I would assume that your trading will go that much more better, because like he said, we are trading the first deviation, which is like 95% of the price. They are trading the second and third deviation, which is 3 to 5%, 99 to 98%. So there's only 3 to 5% of being wrong. So your trades in that deviation will have the highest reward to the lowest risk ratio, is what he's trying to explain to me. And I will be following up with you guys as I learn that. So let's go now on daily. As I was saying, if we close outside here, we're going to test the 1715 on a weekly. And then once we come to this level, I'm hoping the 200 as support, because Bitcoin whipped the 200. Ethereum didn't even touch it. So I'm expecting this 200 to get tapped once, and hopefully we don't go too low under the 200. I have this 1387 level due to the fact that that is the last level over here. So if we can find support here, that'd be great. If we lose this support, then this measure moved. This is from Chart Champion Trader R. This is called the TR Pocket. And I'm looking for these levels to come in under the TR Pocket. And as you can see, I left this orange channel here to show you the resistance to the upside. Wherever we go up, we want to break out of this channel with open and close outside of this channel to show you the strength is there to the upside. Until this little orange channel is broken from our little measured move to the downside, I'm not going to be that confident to the upside. And then this channel is very thin. You can actually extend it now due to the fact that we have more data. And I will do that on a daily. Let's go to Ethereum on a daily. What I'm doing now is I'm just extending this out, so we have a little bit better range. I did not extend it out. There you go. I am trying to consider this consolidation area here. I know it's lower, but there's no reason for me to look for the lower. I'm looking for it to either stay in this channel to show me that this is where price is moving, or to break out of the channel, and then we can draw a new formation. So as of right now, I don't consider this orange channel broken. I am looking for this consolidation in this little triangle that we had drawn out, and then we can go from there. Another thing I wanted to say was the volume is going down on the daily. So this little dead cat bounce scenario is very likely. But if you look at Ethereum on a daily, our 21 is already at our fib, which is 2464. So we can assume price can get up to this high, which is also the middle of the channel, and then reject down in case that people wake up euphoric and start buying it up. We have that to look forward to. But we have this as the first level of resistance, which is the middle of the channel as well, Bollinger Band channel. And then we have the next level of resistance, which is the 55, which is where this channel is, which is 2753. Breaking out of there, we're going to this 100. And if we do get to the 100 and this $29, $27 level, you got to look at the fact that now we're in the pink channel, this ascending channel that we broke down from eventually. Opens and closes in this area, all I would be considering is higher, and I would be moving my stop loss up. If I am already bought in this area and we're above the 21 EMA, usually I'm looking for the 21 EMA to be reclaimed before I'm entering. So if I am reclaiming this area and I'm entering along, hoping for higher, I would be having my stop loss at this fib or this 21 EMA to the downside. If we do get tapped and I get out, I can reposition as we test the lows, because losing the 21 EMA is basically signaling you weakness that, hey, these lows will get tested again. You get to DCA all over again at a better entry, and then just hold it like that. If the weekly closes the way I said, even though that the daily is in this Bollinger Band opening and closing, the volume is showing you weakness. So this can just roll on over, and I will always trump higher time frames. So the weekly will be the #1 concern I have. And when the month is close to the end, I will look at the monthly over the weekly, because the monthly candle close is of much higher and more important significance for algos and all these other institutions, as opposed to the daily or weekly if it's the end of the month. All right, so this was once again Ethereum on a daily. Let's zoom in on a 4-hour, and I will let you guys out of here. So on a 4-hour, you can see that we're already brushing up against the top of our Bollinger Band and showing a little bit of resistance. The volume, the whole time, the volume in this little retracement up is decreasing. So if we go up and volume is decreasing, that is called a bearish volume divergence. Please Google that, and you will understand what that is. That's another sign telling me downside is more likely. My goal is, if this is a real situation, I would assume price to stay in this little consolidation. Even if we get too high, I'm expecting that to keep us in check. Once we start breaking out of this area, not only will we break this orange channel to the downside, we'll break this little, now I'm making this little triangle, wedge, whatever you want to call it. Oh, that's a disgusting color. That's too many colors that way. There you go. So once we break to the downside of this, I am looking for a measured move to the downside. And since we're doing this in such a small time frame, you know, I'm expecting something like this if we break down. And all this is telling me is, hey, we're going to retest the lows and then find hopefully consolidation on 1715. If whoever bought this up to the upside is going to defend his wick, then we won't make a new low. But if this breaks down, why would I want a position here and hold? I'd rather buy a position here. And then to the downside, you have resistance over here at 1913. And I want you to look at how the Bollinger Band is curving up. So the support is building. We are putting in a bottom. Now it's up to price to prove it to us with opening closes above the 21 EMA. And then we need to start breaking out of this Bollinger Band on a 4-hour open and close, and then start reaching the higher levels such as the 55 EMA. We want this 21 EMA to cross this 55 EMA to confirm upside is most likely. And then we can wait for price to open and close above the 100 and the 200. As closes are above the 21 EMA, you will see these EMAs move up, and then so will our stop loss. If you're entering here and this starts moving up, you can just move your stop loss to here or the bottom of this orange channel, knowing that if we breach it, you want to be out anyway. And as we're going up, you can start taking your profit at the 55, the 100, or the 200, maybe 25%, 25%, 25%. Yes, you're left with 25% of your position, but if it's coming back down and you've moved up your stop loss, you're still going to take that position at a stop with profit. So there's no losing in this trade. So that's how I go about it. All right, guys. Well, that's Ethereum for you guys and Bitcoin on a weekly, daily, and 4-hour open and close time frame. Sorry for the little bit of a late video. I had a very late night last night. But if you have any questions or concerns, please leave it in the section below and I will get back to you ASAP. Keep in the lookout for Alpha Crypto Wolf, their Discord group, in the description below. And you can learn some standard deviation and trading on volatility. That's primarily all they do. And you will find me there too, because I'm learning myself, so we can all learn together. And aside from that, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell button for notifications. I want you guys to get this real-time updates as soon as I drop them, so you can do exactly what you need to without being worried, because I am every day giving you real-time information so that way you can add or defend your position accordingly. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, guys. I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Happy Sunday.